Hi, hello. So I'm Jes, and you might have seen me in the opening ceremony. Today, I am giving a presentation on growing your series on WEBTOON Canvas. And some of you that have been on WEBTOON for years, a lot of this will probably seem like information that you are already aware of. So this is definitely a workshop that's more for beginner creators, creators who haven't started yet but are thinking about starting, or creators that are at 5 episodes and are looking for ways to continue growing their series inside and outside of Canvas. So, and also today the moderator is Elena. She will be looking at your comments, and if there are any pressing questions, I will be able to answer them for you. So let's get started. First slide, getting started. So what we're going to talk about first is pre-production. So when you are thinking about starting a series on Canvas, one of the things you need to think about first is your pre-production. Whether it is a movie, a short story, a novel, everything needs to have pre-production. You can't really just launch into it. I mean, you can, but you might not end up where you want to go. So in pre-production, you want to do several different things. You want to make sure you're doing your research, especially if you're doing a topic you're not 100% familiar with. You want to create beat sheets, a mind map, and character sheets. And these are just like 4, specific things you can do. There's way more you can do to do pre-production. So much. You can check a bunch of like YouTube tutorials on best ways to plan your series, but I'm just going to talk about 4 specific things right now because we only have 30 minutes. So for research, when people write series like House or The Good Doctor, a lot of those writers aren't necessarily doctors, but they do a lot of research to know what it's like to be a doctor, medical terms they need to know. So that's kind of a similar situation. Like if you were to create a series on Canvas about a doctor and their daily lives as a doctor, you'll kind of want to familiarize with specific medical terms, what a daily life of a doctor is like. So you want to make sure you're doing research, especially if it's on a topic that you're not 100% familiar with. Beat sheets. So beat sheets are just a really great way of planning out your story structure from start to finish. I recommend checking out Saving the Cat. It's a book that talks about how to use beat sheets and how to structure your story. When creating beat sheets, things you can think about is the exposition, the main conflict, the climax, resolution. So beat sheets are just a really great way to keep your story on track. Now, a mind map, I actually personally love doing mind maps whenever I'm creating anything. You start with a simple idea, whether that be like a fluffy cat. You're going to take fluffy cat, write it down, and then you're going to map out from there. Like, what color is the cat? Orange. What is the cat like doing? Sleeping. Who does the cat dislike? The dog. And then you continue to branch out from those specific topics. The next thing is character sheet. So in this slide is a character sheet we provide for our creators on our Creator 101 site. It's on the desktop and it's on creator resources at the bottom. There's a bunch of downloadable resources, not just the character sheet. There's a bunch of things. So a lot of people use these character sheets to kind of get an idea of who their characters are. You want to be able to make your characters relatable. So you can start by thinking about like, what do your characters look like? Do they have brown eyes? Do they have blue eyes? Do they have long hair? Do they have short hair? But you also want to think about what makes your character unique. Does your character like swimming, but hates water? Things that make your character stand out and things that make your readers connect to those characters. If your readers can connect to your characters, they're more likely to continue reading your series. So next we're going to talk about what makes a story clickable. When a potential reader comes onto Canvas, the first thing they're going to notice is your series thumbnail. That is the first impression of your series to them. So when you make your thumbnail, you need to consider this. There are thousands of series on Canvas. What is it about your series that is going to make people click on it? What I recommend is to showcase your art style and showcase your main character in your thumbnail, probably from the chest up. That way the character is, you can see like their features, their emotions. You can also kind of showcase what genre your series is through your thumbnail. And then also lastly, we recommend not including text in your series thumbnail. it's really small, and sometimes the text can distract from the actual image, and actually kind of people will skim past it if there's too much text on the thumbnail. Your series title will show up at the, underneath the thumbnail, so people will know the series title without it being in the thumbnail. The next thing that people notice is your series title. You want to make it memorable. What is your title going to be that people are going to remember it? So basically, if somebody's reading your series and they forget to subscribe, will they be able to remember it to type it in and search it? There are so many times people email us or message us like, I was reading this series and there's like a cat and the cat goes into like a house and I don't know what this series is. Can you please tell me the series? And there's so many series on Canvas. I can't always let them know like, oh, it's this title. So you want to make it rememberable. And then you want to make it unique. You want to make your title stand out from everybody else's. Sometimes there are titles that there's like 20 of the same title. So when people search it, they might have a harder time finding that series. And then the final thing is the series summary. You want to get your readers hooked before they even open the first chapter. In your series summary, you can include your character descriptions, like hints to your plot, kind of an idea what your genre is going to be, and mainly the hook. And at a later time today, there is going to be a really awesome workshop about creating a great hook that's run by Brianna Boswell, and she is going to be talking about that. So she'll be able to go more in depth on what a hook is and how to create it. But that is something you do want to include in your series summary. Have your readers ask questions and have them answer those questions by reading your series. And then also, just like as a side note, in your series summary, you should also add kind of like your updates there. So if you're planning on going on hiatus, you could add in your series update that you're on hiatus and that you're planning to come back at this specific time. The next thing we're just going to cover real quick, the before you publish checklist. Have you signed up for a WEBTOON account? You can't make a series without having a WEBTOON account. You want to pick your main genre and your subgenre. Now, I know not all series fall within 2 genres, but if you have too many genres, that might be overwhelming to potential readers. So if you have a story about a zombie who falls in love with another zombie, and it's funny, technically that's like a zombie romance comedy. But what really is the genre? It's probably zombies and romance. So you want to pick the 2 genres that really define your series. Next, name your series. We covered that in the last slide. Upload your thumbnails. Cover that in the last slide. Write up your summary. And then you're finally ready to upload your first episode. So ready, set, launch. We're launching our series now. So 3 is the magic number. Originals launch with at least 3 episodes, and there is a reason behind that. It's not just like a random number. So in the next slide, we're going to talk about why 3. So on the 3rd episode, readers will get a pop-up asking them to subscribe. And you want them to get this pop-up because they're more likely to subscribe to your series. If you launch with 1 episode and somebody like they're scrolling through, they find your series, they have 1 episode, they're super excited about it, but they forget to subscribe because they actually have to go back and subscribe to your series. The next time you update, they're not going to get a push notification to your series. You want to make sure your readers are receiving push notifications to your series because that will let them know when to come back. If they forget to subscribe, they could forget, oh no, I haven't checked out this series in 3 months because I haven't gotten any push notifications. Meanwhile, you've already updated 4 times. So you want to try to launch with at least 3 episodes. The other reason for 3 episodes is 3 episodes allows the reader to get hooked to your series. Sometimes updating with only 1 episode when you first launch isn't enough to pull a reader really into your series. And then the next thing is just in general, more page views for when you launch. So if you want to grow your series or if you want to keep your readers, so you need to think about uploading regularly. We know that a lot of Canvas creators have jobs outside of, creating series, and it could be a side hobby. Not everybody can publish once a week like original creators do. It's a lot of work, and we're very aware of this. But if you want to maintain your readership, you want to publish at least one time a month and let your readers know when to come back. Like, oh, I publish on the 15th of every month. This lets readers know, oh, I need to come back on the 15th, and they can expect something and look forward to something every month. If you really want to grow your readership, though, if you want to start increasing those page view numbers, you want to publish at least 2 times a month, every other week. This will allow your series to come up more on the WEBTOON app and also will remind the readers to come back to your series more often. So next, we're going to talk about marketing your series. There's only so much you can do on the Canvas platform. So you need to start pulling people from outside of Canvas into Canvas to read your series. One of the main things is you want to show your presence, not only to your readers, but to other creators. And we're not saying you have to like put your full self out there, like your full name and like your person like I'm doing right now, but you can put your series out there. So you want to connect with other creators, kind of like we're doing today. We're connecting with a bunch of creators, but you can use things like Patreon, Coffee, Discord, Twitter, Reddit, and talk to other creators. That takes us to the next thing. Participate in mutual shoutouts by sharing art, creating art crossovers, collaborate on special occasions. What's really cool is there are collaborations that happen on WEBTOON, and we see them. We always get super happy and super excited when we see these collaborations. They're always so cute and so fun. And a lot of times we get questions, hey, how do I be part of these collaborations? But the thing is WEBTOON Canvas, we do not handle any of those collaborations. We're not in charge of those collaborations. Those are all just creators coming together to do something really awesome and really cool. And it's so exciting to us whenever we see these collaborations happen. And this is just a really great way of creators being able to interact with each other and do like these really exciting things. And then lastly, when you show your presence, consider your audience demographic. Everybody has an audience demographic for their specific series. So when you know who your demographic is, you'll be able to kind of market yourself specifically to that demographic once you know who they are. So the other thing is you want to promote your series on socials. So what we mean by that is sometimes people will share their series, but people don't know where to read it. It's like an image. This is my series, but where do people need to read it? What we recommend is putting the WEBTOON Canvas logo on your art if you want to. You don't have to, but this will let people know, oh, I can go to WEBTOON Canvas to read this specific series. If you want to use our WEBTOON Canvas logo, you are more than welcome to. We are very excited when people use it. If you want to use it, you can go to our website, our desktop website, click on Creators One-on-One, go to Creator Resources, and go down to the downloadable resources. There is a PNG of the WEBTOON Canvas logo. The other thing is you want to tag us, tag at WEBTOON Canvas on your post, and use the hashtag at WEBTOON or hashtag WEBTOON Canvas or hashtag Canvas Hidden Gems if your series is less than 1K subscribers. We see these, and your series will more than likely be shared if you use these hashtags and tags. And like I said before, interact with readers when your series is featured on WEBTOON Canvas Instagram. We're trying to feature more series on our site, and if you see your series being, promoted on our site, interact with the readers that are commenting on that post. So, other ways you can promote your series on socials: highlight your series. Everybody has very unique stories, and ways you can highlight your series is one, you can create posts about your character profiles. People get excited about characters. They want to connect to specifically fictional characters. People get really hyped. Think about the series Loki. Everybody loves Loki. People want to know more about Loki. So you can kind of do the same thing with your characters. You can post about their birthdays, their hobbies, their likes and dislikes, and unique facts. You can get people excited about your characters and they'll want to read more to learn more about your characters. And another way to highlight your series is to showcase your world building skills. There are some series on Canvas that the world building is just amazing. It's the rules for these worlds, like starting from scratch and building this entire universe it's amazing. And these are things you want to showcase. Showcase your, environmental art, or showcase this specific thing happened in this world. Get people excited about this universe that you're creating. And then last one, we talk about highlighting your series. Be transparent. Let people know you're going to go on hiatus. We all need to take breaks. Breaks are super important. We don't want you to get burned out or hurt yourself. You need to take breaks, and people understand that. But just like let people know, hey, I need to take a break. I'm going on hiatus, and let them know how long you're going to go on hiatus. Now, you don't have to have like a specific date, but you can kind of say like, oh, I'm probably going to be on hiatus for about 2 months. Give people an idea of when to come back so they can be really excited when you do come back, and you can get a flood of readership. And this part, we're going to do a little pep talk. Yay! So when creating a WEBTOON Canvas series, we want you to go in with the right mindset. And what we mean by this is we want you to create your series for yourself. Like I said in the opening ceremony, I am an artist and a creator myself. And before I worked at WEBTOON, I was trying to tell stories as well. And I was creating art. And one of the things I fell victim to is getting so caught up in like Instagram numbers, right? Oh, my friends that are artists had so many more followers than me. Is my art not good enough? Am I not achieving this certain thing? And it made me really sad. And I realized at one point I was no longer creating for myself, but I was creating for others on the internet to get these numbers. And once I realized that and started again creating for myself, it was like my artwork got better. I was happier. And it was super exciting. And I don't want people to feel that way or feel the bad way when creating on WEBTOON. So I know we all have a burning passion to create, and that's why I want you to create it for yourself. We all want to tell our stories, and this is a way to get your story out there. And then another thing is to know that there are thousands of series on Canvas. I think I don't have a specific number right now on the top of my head, but there's literally thousands of series, and there's like new series every day. So if your series doesn't get, noticed right away, that's okay. Some people do get noticed right away and their series blows up, and sometimes it takes people longer. Everybody works at their own pace, and don't get discouraged. It's okay. And yeah, like people, you will find your audience. It might be a huge audience, it might be a small audience, but people on Canvas, like readers on Canvas, want to read your series. And then the last thing is your first story will most likely not be your best story. And this is just because everybody learns and continues to grow throughout life. You might start a series on Canvas and you think your art is the best it's going to be and your storytelling is the best it's going to be. And then 4 years later, you realize you've learned so much. Your storytelling skills have improved like greatly, and your art skills. So your second story might end up being your best story, or, like 10 years down the road, your 10th story is your best story. Usually your next new thing is going to be better than the last thing. Next, we want you to take care of yourselves. We don't like it when we see people are burned out and they got hurt because they're, been working 12 hours a day on their series. We want you to take breaks. Your health matters, your physical health and your mental health. It's okay to feel burned out sometimes. I feel burned out sometimes. We all sometimes feel burnt out, and you need to take a break. And you need to forgive yourself for wanting to take a break. Because personally, I sometimes feel really bad when I'm like, oh, I really need to take a break. But I'm like, oh, I can't take a break. Sometimes you have to, and that is okay. Other things, implement hand and body stretches into your routine. Drawing takes a toll on us, and people don't really talk about it a lot, but it really does. We want to avoid carpal tunnel. We want to avoid arthritis. Make sure you're stretching. Later, we're going to have like a stretch break, and we're going to go over stretches. Also think about your posture. Like as I'm talking, I'm like, oh, I need to sit straight. So make sure you think about those things. And the last thing is self-care. Do not compare. People do things at their own pace. So, remember that you might takes more time than other people, and that's okay. And finally, have fun and learn. The Canvas community is here for you, including us, the Canvas team. We try to be, as involved as we possibly can be. We're still a small team, though we are growing, which is really exciting. And not only are we here for you, but other creators are here for you. I feel like our creator community is a really great place, and everybody's very warm and welcoming. And I'm sure other creators will, if you have a question, they'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. And then, so join other artist communities, get to know other creators. We mentioned and highlighted on our socials that we have an official Discord. Ooh, super exciting. So when you get the chance, join our official WEBTOON Canvas Discord, and that's another way you'll be able to connect with us and other creators. And then finally, check out the Creators 101 page for downloadable resources and educational videos. So that is the end of my presentation and workshop. I hope that this workshop was helpful for new creators and old creators if you came to my workshop. So if you have any questions, I was focused on my presentation, so I didn't see the questions in the chat, but feel free to drop them now.
Something somebody asked is, what is the point of vertical thumbnails? Someone noticed that there was that new update and they wanted to ask why exactly we made that change and what was the purpose there?
Yes, we basically wanted to give creators more opportunity to showcase their art. And mainly it was actually for our recommended title section. So the recommended title section, it is a more vertical thumbnail, and we are using that specific thumbnail to use for recommended titles rather than we used to like go into the episode and find a panel that we could use for the recommended title section. But now we can use this specifically in other promotional opportunities in the future.
Something someone asked is also, what's a good length for their summary? Like, would you recommend it being really long and detailed, or like really short and kind of just like a hook?
I would probably say short and more like a hook. You want people to like look at it, be able to get the gist of it and get hooked right away. If it's too long, if it's like really long, like a whole paragraph, people might be like, I don't want to read all of that, so a shorter hook, a shorter summary would work best.
Another question was, like, someone is considering potentially rebooting their series, and what's your thoughts on that? Like, when they first did their initial series, they weren't in a place to really commit or to post consistently, but now that they are, they're considering rebooting, or even deleting the old episodes. So what are your thoughts on that?
So I saw that somebody said they have a love-hate relationship with rebooting. I also have a love-hate relationship with rebooting. I feel like if your series is, you started like 2 years ago and your artwork and your storytelling has improved greatly, yeah, I would say reboot. Let people see like your new artwork, let them see your new storytelling. And then also, because that new artwork and that new storytelling is going to be like some of the first chapters, you'll get more readers coming back to your series, especially new readers that have never seen your series. Situations where probably rebooting is like, if you just started it, it's been like 2 months, you have 4 episodes and you're like, I didn't get enough page views when I first launched, I'm going to reboot it. You don't really need to reboot it then. It's not necessary. Sometimes people continuously reboot. And that's the thing you need to think about too. If you continuously reboot, sometimes your loyal readers might leave. So if you like publishing for 2 years, you are almost done with the story, but you're like, I want to retell it in a better way and I want to showcase my improved art. Reboot it. I feel like your readers will be super excited about this reboot. But if you continuously reboot and readers are like, I just want to know what happens, but you keep going back to the beginning, they could potentially leave.
Yeah, I think that's all the time we have for now, but thank you so much for joining, everybody. I see people are already talking about collabs, pirate collabs. I love pirates, would love to see that. So thank you so much and have fun at your next activity.
Thank you.